So we're going to start with our practice to feel into the Yang elements, the two Yang elements, which are the wood element and the fire element, the rising energies, the more expansive energies. Gentle practices still, all of them we're going to be doing now, but feeling into more of this moving outwards and upwards energy. So first of all, making sure you are sitting comfortably. You can sit up as much as you like. I take a cushion or two cushions and just sit on the edge of that. What you want to try and make sure is that your knees are not up here. If your knees are up here, you're going to be creating a lot of tension around your hips and groin and abdomen and pelvis, which is what we want to be getting rid of. So come up as high as you need to. If you've got some blocks, some yoga blocks, great. If you haven't, get some books, a stack of books to sit on, or a pile of cushions. But if you have too many cushions, it can get a little squidgy underneath you, not feel very stable. So sometimes you're better with something more solid. So play around with that so that you can let your knees, at least ideally, they're not higher than your hips, if you can get to that point. Now, they do not have to be out wide. If that's comfortable for you with the heels more aligned, you can do that. Or you bring your knees more inwards and the feet more underneath the knees. If I was to do this, I would come up higher, because in this case, my knees have now lifted higher than my hips. The other place you want to be sure is that you're not feeling collapsed in your back. If you feel at all that you're struggling to sit upwards, to sit up tall, then again you might want to raise your seat. Okay, once you've got that height right, make sure your pelvis, thinking always about your pelvis, placing your pelvis first, making sure that you're aligned, your sit bones. If you feel into your buttocks, you'll find the little bony bits that you sit up on, the sit bones, that you feel that you are able to sit up on there, and that your pelvis feels nice and neutral, and everything else aligns itself around there. Then just let your hands come and rest where it's comfortable for you on your legs. Feel into your spine, stretching upwards. It can always be really useful to imagine you're sitting against a wall. So you're not collapsing into your wall, you're using that wall or leaning against your wall, but you are stretching up along that wall, letting your shoulders relax down, face nice and relaxed, and imagining there's a thread that holds you from the crown of your head, so then I can relax all my energy downwards and the tissue downwards while not actually collapsing. Okay, so once you're there, hands placed as is comfortable for you. I recommend closing your eyes, but if you don't like to close your eyes, you just keep them very softly open. Your gaze anyway turns inwards. And just take that first moment of connecting with your inner world, feeling in. So this is for starting any practice, taking the moment to align yourself well and to bring your mind in and just to see who you've brought to your mat in that moment. The quality of your overall energy, so letting your mind just spread through your body as much as you can. Noticing its overall energy, and if from the inside out you feel something needs to shift, you need to just realign slightly, feel free to do that. Noticing any pockets of tension. Maybe just bringing your awareness there will let them release, maybe not, don't force any release, just awareness. Noticing your breath, noticing it come and go. It may not be smooth and settled at the moment. Giving it permission to smooth and to settle, but not forcing it. Just aware of your inhale, aware of your exhale. Coming and going. And in fact, that 4-phase cycle. One more breath there. And then inhaling, letting your eyes open, and we move into our wood energy, the energy of springtime. So bring your arms up, take hold of your elbows, relax the shoulders, and as you exhale, doesn't matter which way you go, you let the elbows drop down, and as you inhale, draw them up, big circles. Exhale, you just release, and as you come up, mind on the inside, feel as you lift your arms, lift your elbows, how you pick up something on the inside and stretch up. Keeping going around. We especially want to think of these areas below our breasts, the area where the ribs are there, the liver on the inside, on the right hand side. You're stretching that space open, and the whole of the chest, upward rising energy as you come up. You don't need to stay in time with me. You go in your own time. One more go in this direction. Inhale, big lifting up, the upsurging energy of spring. So the direction of our spring energy is up, changing direction like the young shoots coming out of the earth, shooting up towards the heavens, feeling and drawing up in that direction, upwards. And then we need to keep that energy constantly rooted down, so we just drop down, inhaling, mind on the inside. Bring the tissues and the organs up with that movement. Of course, the movement is as big as is good for you, for your shoulders. Inhaling one more time. And exhale all the way around. Come back into the center. Take your left leg and just take it out to the side, keeping your right leg in as for your cross-legged position. If you need to, you change. So if you were up on a lot of blocks, you may find here that you need to take some of them away and come lower. You may just want to sit on cushions, or if you were lower, you may find in this position you need to lift yourself up. And the other thing is, for people with tight hamstrings, if that's really uncomfortable underneath your knee, you could take a cushion or a block of some kind and just place it under so you haven't got quite so much tension. But make sure you're pushing out into your heel. Really important for what we're doing here, thinking of our liver energy channel. It's coming from our big toe up into the upper body. And then today we're also going to be thinking of the side line of our body, all the way up the side, which is the partner. So our liver and gallbladder here are partners together. So really reach into the leg, feeling into that inner leg, stretching along it, and then sitting up tall through the upper body, lifting from below your breasts, opening up that space without tension, without protruding. Keep the shoulders down, the chin low, and just breathing into that for a moment, getting that height, little space between each of the vertebrae. Then drop your right elbow down onto your right leg. If the right hand comes to the floor, you can anchor that down, otherwise really anchor down, weighted down through your elbow. So either way, if you're sitting up high, the hand reaching to the floor, that might happen, or you can place it, of course, on a block there. Then we take the left elbow, keep reaching out into your left heel, really important, don't let that go to sleep. Lift the left elbow, stretch into it as far as you can go, and only then lift the wrist. The fingers are still drooping down, and then when you've gone as far as you can, the fingers stretch open, and then exhale, swoop around. And then you come up again, elbow. So when you lift the elbow, I'm pushing into my heel, feeling the inner leg, and then this whole area up my left side, internally and externally, picking everything up and stretching it. And then when I can't do any more, I lift the wrist and I keep that stretch, and then the fingers open up. I can take my gaze up there if that's okay for my neck. And again, elbow, you're either sinking down, or you can also be pushing a little bit through the hand down into the earth. Then like someone's cut your strings, exhaling, coming down. So now with a bit more flow, lift, smoothly feel that wave of engagement all the way up into the fingers, stretching, and then exhale with your breath, let go. Again, find your own rhythm now. Inhaling, expanding, re-emerging out of winter up towards the heavens and spring. Exhale, release and come down. One more time on this side. Inhale. And exhale. And bringing yourself back up into the center. And then we smoothly as we can swap sides in our wood energy. Everything, we're trying to smooth things out in the body. Get your position nice and aligned. 2 sit bones still balanced down onto the floor. So try to keep your pelvis neutral. You may find, and if your knee on the bent leg is floating here, then you can put something just underneath your knee to support it so you don't strain anything. Reach out, push out into that right heel now, sitting tall through your spine. When you've got that, drop your left elbow down, left hand perhaps onto the floor, or the elbow, you're really weighing extra amount into that. And then right elbow, really slow to start with. Really feel the stretch, really feel the picking up of tissues and organs on this side, actually through the liver organ itself. And then into the wrist, keep stretching up, keep pushing out into that right heel. Lift the fingers, look at your fingers, stretch them out. And then exhale, release. Inhale, emerge. Feel this is sort of diagonal movement across your body of lifting up, but also down that right leg into the foot. Exhale, release. And then continuing in your own time with a bit more flow. Emerging, gaze lifts, eyes of the sense organ of the liver. Inhale, so lift that gaze up. Exhaling, really release. Really, as I say, get that sense of your strings have been cut, and from the stretch, like a big sigh, you just let go. One more time, inhale. Exhaling. And coming around and bringing yourself back into neutral, sitting up there. Then draw your right leg in. Bring yourselves around on your mat and down, lying on your back. You might want a cushion underneath your head. Best always to have a low cushion. So you want your neck generally to stay in line as much as possible with the rest of your spine. Your neck is part of your spine, so trying to keep that alignment. So you come down on your back. If you have got a cushion, make sure it's well aligned and just extend the back of your neck. Come all the way down, lying out. And if you remember, I said we were going to work the side line of the body as well, our gallbladder meridian that flows all the way down the side. So that's what we're going to do here. So when you've, first of all, got yourself aligned as much as you can, straight both sides, walk yourself. I'm lifting my shoulder blades and walking my upper body around towards the right. I'm going to take my cushion with me because my head has actually come off the mat. So my spine is curved around towards the right. My whole torso is curved around towards the right. My left side is stretched long and the right side is a bit compressed. Take your left hand then, if it's okay for you, up above your head, if that's okay for your shoulder. If not, you'll work more into the side of the body, less into the arms. You just touch your hand to your shoulder and lift the elbow to where it's comfortable. If you can, stretch above your head. Bring the right hand around and take hold of the left wrist with your right hand. And then those arms are coming down on the floor. Just gently but firmly draw into that wrist, stretching out a little bit more that whole side of your body, reaching also into your left foot. So a long line, having your mind spread as much as it can be between your foot and your hand down the left side of your body. And then take your left foot as you exhale and slowly bring it across towards your right foot. So the feet needed to be apart to start with, and then you pull that leg in towards the right foot so the left side of your body grows even longer. Inhale, you move back out with that foot. Exhale and go slowly. Feel again how that leg, relaxing and stretching, connects into the tissues higher up in your body, and as you move it across, you're stretching them out. Inhale each time in your own time, but as slow as possible. You come back out. Exhale, you bring that foot across. If you don't feel you're getting enough of a stretch through the left side of your body, we'll move your right foot slightly more towards the right so you can bring the left foot even further over. Continuing like that, letting your mind as much as possible be stretched, be spread evenly down the left side of your body, remember. And you're stretching it out even more as you bring the foot out. One more time, inhaling. And exhale. And then holding your foot where you come to and breathing into that. If it's okay for you, you're still gently pulling into the wrist of the left arm. Holding that position wherever you feel the maximum stretch. Bring your mind just a gentle awareness, not fixed, too strong an awareness, but an awareness to that area, and your breath gently to that area. sense of expansion into that space, just letting it stretch out. And then you're going to release that, bring yourself back into neutral. It may not feel very neutral because you might be feeling a bit longer now on your left side than you are on your right. But see if you can bring yourself back into what is actually a straight line. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the first step is to just walk the upper body over to the side. This time you take your right arm up above, hold the wrist with the left hand, take your right leg out to the side slightly, and exhale, bring that foot in towards the left foot. Keep drawing into the hand, the right arm, careful of the shoulder though, reach into the fingers. Each time you exhale, you're bringing your foot across and in towards the left foot. In your own time, if you don't have enough of a stretch, you can move the left foot a little bit more, bringing that right foot in, inhaling, exhaling. Lengthen through the side of the body as you stretch and feel the connection all the way along the right side. Last one, coming in, and then holding that stretch. Breathing into it, relaxing through the right side of your body, nice and evenly, and let it stretch out. And then release and come back into the center. Bring yourself back into neutral. And then from there, bending your feet up so that your feet are on the floor, knees are up in the air. Bring your heels inwards. If you take hold of your heels, you can draw them in. Put the feet on the floor so your feet are parallel, so your feet are not out like this. Draw the toe end of your feet so they're parallel. And you want to have your feet not too wide, not too close. So when I look down, I can just see the outside edge of my feet. You could go very slightly closer than that, but not too much closer with your feet, and ideally not further apart. Arms by your side. Inhaling. And as you exhale, push your feet against the floor strongly and feel in your pelvis a desire to lift. A slight feeling of lift. Your coccyx may turn under. And as you inhale, you release that down. Exhaling, push 2 more times. Just feel that energy gathering in the pelvis and a sense of wanting to lift. Inhale, you release that back down. 1 more time like that. Exhale. And release. And then pushing all the way, coming up. So you allow your pelvis to lift the next time as you push. Come up as much as is comfortable for you. Exhale. Release all the way down. Inhale at the bottom. The exhale again. Push with the feet. Feel the pelvis leading the movement, lifting up. You inhale at the top. Just come up to wherever's comfortable for you here. Feeling this area, the front of the groin or the hips, opening. And then as you exhale, you roll, extending your coccyx away. You roll down. Make sure your feet are awake. Stretch into your big toes. Exhaling as you exhale, feel a line up your inner legs. Knees are not traveling apart here. You don't have to come any higher than's good for you. And then up all the way, this front line of the body, that's space just below your breasts. Opening that up, stretching all those lines out. Coming down, we'll come up 1 more time. We'll just add into the stretch here as you lift, just to open up that space underneath the breasts even more, the area of the liver. Lift your arms above your head. Hold that for a moment. So reaching into the big toes. Feeling the inside of your legs all the way through the groin. Pelvis, maybe push your pelvis if it's okay for you a little bit more. Feeling the area at the front of the hips open up even more, and that whole
front of the torso, and then exhale, rolling yourself smoothly, slowly down your spine, extending the spine away, arms coming down by your side, releasing the arms down. Just move your feet slightly further away from your pelvis for a moment, and just breathe there, breathing in. Listening in, mind inside your body, and take yourself a few breaths. And from this position, where we finished our wood stretching practice, we're going to straighten the legs out, stretch out your legs, and bring your arms up above your head. So bring yourself into a star shape. So your legs are quite wide, more than hip width apart, and same with the arms, they're nice and wide, so you're in a big star shape. Moving into our fire practice, stretching out the meridians and feeling into the organs and feeling into the direction. It's an expansive movement. So start as you exhale by pulling, as though someone's taken hold of your right foot. Let that foot move away and stretch into it, and the whole leg with it. And then you come back into neutral on the inhale, exhale the right leg. Someone's taken hold of it, giving it a stretch. Your pelvis may tilt with that. Inhale, you come back into neutral. Exhale. Right arm, stretch into it. Inhale, release, really relax. Feel how the arm or the limb you're stretching connects in through your body and pulls in into your torso. And release. One more time around. Exhale. Left leg, left foot. And release. On the inhale, completely release. Really relax as you release. Right leg, stretching in. Releasing that. Arms, right arm. If you're doing different way around, really doesn't matter. And release. And then left arm, stretch into it. Feel that stretch go all the way to the center of your body and really reach into the fingers. And release. Take one breath. And then on a diagonal, left foot, left leg, and right arm, right hand. On the exhale, really stretch into them and feel how they connect in the middle of your body. Reach into those fingers, don't leave your hand out. Inhale, really let go and release. Exhale, the opposite diagonal. Reach the right leg away and the left arm. Feel those spaces connecting in your center. And release the other diagonal again. Keep going in your own time. On the exhale, stretching. Really relax and stretch through that diagonal line as much as you can. Fire is maximum extension, maximum expansion. Release, so use a little bit of energy, but keep relaxed. Don't strain, don't force, stretch through the tissues of your body. Releasing each time on the inhale. Really let go. Couple more times. Exhale. Stretch strongly, opening up in the center, and release. And your last one, stretch it through, face staying relaxed. Make sure the fingers and your toes are joining in, and release. Take yourself a nice deep breath there, letting any tension in your body go. And then exhale, all four limbs at the same time. Pull into them, reach into those fingers, stretch out. Hold that stretch on the inhale, and then exhale, let go. Take an inhale, and then exhale, stretch out again. Feel that the stretch starts in the center of your body where all of these lines of stretch connect, like you're radiating out, like the sunshine from your center to all the extremities. You're taking an inhale as well. And then on the exhale, you release. A few more times in your own time. Each time on the exhale, you start the stretch, relaxing, moving out from your center, radiate outwards, expand, make yourself as big as possible as you hold on the inhale and exhaling. you release. Start to really exaggerate the release. Again, the idea of the strings being cut. You've been pulled out to the maximum as you exhale and you inhale. And then that gets cut, and you flop down. One more time, in that way, the best yet. Stretching out as big as you can be, as expansive as you can be. And then when you're ready, on your next exhale, you let that go. Just bring your arms by your side. Keep your eyes open, but let all of your body just relax deeply. 2 deep breaths. Any tension anywhere, letting it melt away. And then next time you inhale, draw your knees up. Rolling yourself over to the side, and then bring yourselves all the way up and round onto, well, all fours. We'll start there, so you're in that position, and then you go back. Take your knees quite wide. If you're just wondering what a big lump on my back is, I've got a phone there for recording, so ignore that. So that just in terms of you seeing the shapes that I'm making, if it's distracting you. Knees wide, and you're going to go back through the pelvis. You reach back, and the arms are going to reach forward. And sorry, I should explain here the stretch into the hands, what we're working with. So our fire meridian channels are all in the arms. There's actually 4 of them. We're going to think today about 2. Well, we'll think about 4, but I'll talk to you the heart and the small intestine. One comes into the little finger, the other one goes out. There are actually 2 more related to fire in our middle finger and our third finger. So really stretching into our hands completely is really good for opening all these channels that go down the back and front of the arm, and they come into the chest, and they also come from and into the head, come from the chest and into the face. So you might feel lines as you stretch all the way in to those areas. There is a very important point in the middle of our palm, Lao Gong point. I will talk on it a lot. So the more you can just stretch the whole of your hand open, the more we open that, and that is really good for opening our heart. All right, so thinking into that space. So when we move our hands, we really want to stretch them all, radiate them out in all directions to get into the lines. The heart, of course, itself in our chest, our heart space, and we've also got the small intestine, but we're going to be thinking right now of our heart. So with your knees as wide as is comfortable, you're bringing your hands down on the floor, inhaling, and as you exhale, a bit of pressure against the floor, those hands really spread, you push away, and as I push away with the hands, I'm stretching my sit bones, my pelvis back in the opposite direction as far as is comfortable, okay? Head comes down, and then you inhale and come up. And then as you exhale, turn your hands outwards and push them. Again, pressure against the floor. Feel into your heart space that you're stretching open through the heart, and turn your head to one side. Reach into those fingers all the way from the heart to the fingers stretched. You inhale and you come up. You turn the hands forward and you exhale and you stretch forward, trying to keep the front line of the body open as well as you stretch away. Inhaling, coming up, and you turn your hands to your outside again and push out. Head turns the opposite way to last time, and you expand. You make a really big wingspan, as big as you can. Inhale, come up. So in your own time, finding that rhythm. It's an inhale each time coming up, and exhale each time pushing away in front. Alternating the turn of the head, feeling always into your heart space, the connection along your arms from these stretched fingers through your heart. Stretch the tissues around your heart as much as you can. A few more times. Inhale, you can make it as dynamic as you want. Maximum stretch. If you want to speed it up slightly, in this case, when we're in fire, you can without ever rushing and without losing the connection internally. Exhaling. And
And then next time you come back to the straight forward stretch, just going into that, let your hands veer off slightly wider, at least to the width of your mat, and possibly wider still. So you're coming up onto your fingertips. Fingertips on the floor, wrists really lifted, and high up. And you're not sort of down on the fingertips, you're rolled up onto the top of them as much as you can be. And arms wide, so you've got lots of space around the heart. Again, pelvis goes back. If you wish, you can take something, a cushion or something more, to rest your head on, your forehead. If you just put your forehead on, a little bit of space for your nose coming down. And arms nice and wide up on those fingertips. Stretch the sit bones back away and just breathe deeply into the stretch, letting your arms come longer and longer. You may find you want to start just walking the fingertips away a little bit further as you stretch, or as you relax into it and your body stretches a bit more. Bring your awareness to the space around your heart, both at the front, but very particularly in this position at the back, between your shoulder blades. Allow this position to stretch open that space at the back of your heart. It can be hard to get into, and that we can hold all kinds of hidden stuff. A few more breaths, breathing there. Keeping the engagement on through the arms, not getting lazy. And into the lower back, feel that space between the rib cage and the pelvis stretching down away. So it looks like a relaxed pose, but there's lots of work and stretch going on within it. Nice deep breath. And then on your next inhale, letting your hands come down and drawing yourself all the way up and coming up to sitting. I'll just shift myself to face towards you, and you can sit kneeling, or if you prefer to sit cross-legged, you can switch into that. If you're kneeling, if you want to put a cushion anywhere to sit on, of course, just do that. Make sure you're comfortable. Last practice for the fire element, for the heart, for today. So if you take your hands and turn them upwards, palms upwards. When we turn our palms upwards, we encourage energy to rise in our body, especially if you stretch open that point in the center of the palm. So stretch the hands open, shoulders down, elbows out to the side, sitting nice and tall. And then you take a huge big inhale. Keep your shoulders down if you can as you lift the hands up. So you feel the energy rising up, a filling of the lungs. And then I'm just doing slowly the first one, so we'll go a bit more with the breath in a minute. But then as you hold your breath at the top of your inhale, you open out. And as you open out from here, as the arms turn, you want to feel that you've taken a hold again of the tissues around the heart, and you're pulling them out and open. So you feel this whole area stretching, opening out. And you come into this position, so arms about 90 degrees, straight out with the upper arms, and then forearms straight up, and your fingers are super engaged, stretched out as much as they can be up towards the heavens and in all directions. I'm long from my shoulder through to my elbow, long from my elbow through, as much of a stretch out, and I feel that pulling on this whole area, and I feel myself big, expansive, opening up out into the world. And so then when the breath turns, you exhale and you let that go, and you're taking all this energy and packing it. You might close your eyes at this time, and you just bring that all back down into the depths of your body, into the darkness. Then you turn, shoulders down, inhale, eyes opening, expand, feel the lungs fill, and the heart between the lungs has lots of space to expand open as you stretch it with the movement of the arms. Maybe a little smile on your face. Exhale, turn, bring all of that back down. And And again, when you're ready, inhale, expand the lungs, visualize your heart like a flower, a red flower bud between the lungs, and that bud opens into its full summertime expansion. No apology, this is me. And then exhale, the turning energy. So as you see, when you do all of these practices, we're working with one particular one, but we go through the whole cycle, because to get back, we have to go through the cycle, reconnecting, closing the eyes, then opening them as you come up, inhaling, expanding outwards, stretching outwards, feeling yourself opening your heart, and then gently settling it, exhaling back down. We don't want to drain it, don't want to exhaust it. One more time, inhale. At the top of the breath, in that pause at the top of your breath, open yourself out, flower open. Exhale. All the way down, let your hands just come and rest, sitting on your legs, palms down, completely soften. Soften the shoulders, soften those arms. Take your mind on the inside. And just pausing there for a moment, listening in. And then you can either from here just stay in this position to move straight on. If you move to the next video for the Yin elements, we'll have 3 Yin elements, earth, metal and water. Or if you want to finish your practice here, you can just bring yourself out of this position and come down onto your mat. Make yourself comfortable. You may want a cushion or something underneath your knees, or you just lie yourself out. Often a cushion is good underneath the head to make sure the back of your neck is long. So your chin always wants to be slightly lower than your forehead, or at least no higher. So you don't want to find yourself in this position with your back of your neck straight. Lengthen the back of your neck. Feet at least hip width apart, arms by your side, palms facing upwards. Check your shoulder blades are well placed. And you can finish your practice just resting there, here, and just noticing the whole of your body. Really soft breath now. You're not trying to deepen your breath. And noticing if there's any tension held anywhere, just letting it sink down into Mother Earth. And letting the energy of those movements just be within you, become integrated within you. The quieter you can just be within your mind for a few minutes, resting here, the better. Feel free to stay in this space as long as you would like. Just resting here. But when you are ready to come out, just quietly bending your knees up. Picking a side to roll onto, you just roll to that side. Hands come onto the floor, and you use your hands. Let the hands do the work, the arms do the work, pushing up. And bring yourself all the way on up to sitting. Namaste.